So I watched all the Shiloh movies. Shiloh 1 was a okay movie, I guess. I used to read the book all the time as a kid, and I remember watching the first movie as a kid. I didn't know there was any sequels, and I didn't know there was any more books after the first one. I felt like the first one was all you really need. It's a movie about a kid who takes in a dog that's being abused, but the owner wants it back. And his parents also want to give it back because it's the man's property. But, he ends up hiding the dog and secretly taking care of it. His parents eventually catch on. He's once again forced to give the dog back. It's just kind of a back and forth movie. Like, oh, this thing happens, this thing happens, this thing happens. Um, but it's not boring. I mean, it's a fine movie. He eventually is able to get the dog by blackmailing Judd Travers, the abuser, um, by saying that he knows he's hunting animals out of season. He knows he's killed one of his dogs before. He straight up says, I found a dog up here 6 months ago with a bullet in its head. What do you think the sheriff will feel if I tell him that was your bullet? And it's very much implied that Judd has killed that dog. He killed that dog on purpose. I mean, the open scene of the movie is him hitting the dog in the face with a shotgun, and when it runs off, he tries to shoot it. And later in the movie, they pretty much tell us why he didn't shoot it was because Shiloh was simply too fast, and that it was the only reason he didn't shoot her. He spends the whole movie talking about how useless the dog is, but at the same time saying it's the best hunting dog he's ever had, which I really don't get. He has a ridiculous number of dogs in this movie, but I don't think the majority of them are the same breed in the next movie. They change the dogs like every movie. Um, it just it's a not a great movie. The the kid ends up working for Judd to um get the dog, which I mean, you blackmailed him. Isn't that enough? Why are you working for him now? You have stuff on him. That's why he's giving you the dog. But Judd says that, the only way he'll let him have the dog is if he works for 5 days for like 40 hours or something. And he ends up working him to the bone, but eventually he tells him that he's not going to give him the dog. Regardless, the kid still works. And, you know, he ends up coming back trying to take the dog, but he ends up letting him have him because he feels bad. Judd has empathy for once in his life and decides to let him have the dog, and the movie ends. I will say I really didn't like the dad in this movie. He was more tolerable in the sequels, but he's just an asshole in this movie. I do not like him. Um, Everybody always talked about how good this movie was as a kid, and I enjoyed it as a kid. But looking back at it now, it's just there isn't much to it. I think there's other movies about dogs that are way better.